We blowing nose, let the smoke dance. Inhaling, exhaling with no hands. I go to Asher, hit my gold chains. My eyes be Asian, but I'm so French. Roll up a sticky parrot with some sushi. Write verses on my phone and dish the loosely. I just light it up like Snoop and Lil Toonchi. Sip gin and juice and now I'm chillin' loosely. Cause I love pot. All my homies know how to roll, call them dudes, and they grow my stack. I'm a grower and a shower at your girl, I bet she knows my spot. She like a green and we got it, you ain't got it, homie. Oh my God, oh my squad, but I love pot. All my homies know how to roll, call them dudes, and they grow my stack. I'm a grower and a shower at your girl, I bet she knows my spot. She like a green and we got it, you ain't got it, homie. Oh my God, oh my squad, yeah. I just want a baddie and a little mixture. Like 50,000 likes on all the pictures. I want an ounce of butter, fifth of liquor. To take this broad into the fifth dimension. I mentioned a little birdie tweeted, we gon' hit this. So is this the butter? Her eye isn't listening. I wish that I could post an image while I hit that. But in fact, I don't want the world up in my business. Cause welcome back, y'all. Oh, yeah. You know what time it is. You know what day it is. It's Wednesday, February 18th, 2026. Yay. You're watching Hump Day. I'm the host of this here channel. My name is Gap. I do this shit every Wednesday. And I give you guys the most dominant grappling performances in MMA. I give you guys look at submission props for the weekend ahead, takedown props for the weekend ahead, parlays, possibilities, odds, all the things. All right. I give you guys MMA and boxing tips, picks, parlays, tricks, you know, all that shit. And I'm back again to give you guys some more looks at what's coming. Because this weekend we got UFC Houston, Strickland versus Hernandez. We got a little bad blood brewing. We got a little international versus ice war going on, which I'm liking. I'm liking the heat on this fight. And I'm liking, you know what? It pushed me towards some props, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. It pushed me towards some props. Pushed me towards. I'm leaning some ways now that I wasn't originally leaning. Pause. On this card, you know. But let's get the little business out the way before we get into it. Okay, let's subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. All right, we are on the road to 800. So please, if you can be so kind, share this with a friend, a loved one, someone you care about, because the instant that you bring this channel into their lives, it will get better out of nowhere. Everything, all your problems start going away. You start finding money in your jeans. People start talking to you again that you haven't talked to in years. It's awesome, man. You should just subscribe to the channel. It'll change your life. I promise. That's a lie. But anyways, subscribe to the channel, all right? One More Round Fights. That's where we give you guys the whole combat sports fight sphere in totality. Boxing, MMA, karate combat, bare knuckle, UFC BJJ. We talk it all, bro.
We talk it all. So subscribe to the channel, okay? And don't forget to also follow on socials because that's where we live tweet for the fights. That's where we put out cut downs and graphics and memes and all types of fun little tidbits, polls, and we just put our thoughts out there. So don't forget to follow on social. One More Round Fights everywhere but X. It's One More Round F8 on X. The reason is because Elon's a little bitch. All right. So yeah, don't forget to follow our other channel. We also appear on the main card, man. That's where you guys can watch me for watch-alongs for the UFC. Okay, that's usually on Saturdays. So that if you fuck around with this QR code right there, that'll get you that'll tune you in to me there. But everywhere else, all the other iterations, right there, baby, right freaking there. And just for housekeeping purposes, because I like to say it, main card man on your left. One More Round Fights on your right. All right. But there's a lot to talk about before we even get into the submission process. Because obviously there was no MMA and it was karate combat. So a lot of striking. So what grappling are we going to be talking? Well, we're going to be looking at our top 5 of the year first. Okay. And then we'll be getting into our props that we like in terms of grappling on the UFC Houston card. That means submission props. That means takedown props. That means, ground and pound possibly, because you got to get you got to get a takedown to get to that GMP, baby. You got to. So, yeah, we're going to be talking about all that. So please like the video below if you enjoy the content. If you don't, well, I did my best. What can I do? What can I do? Let's talk first about some MMA updates because we didn't get to talk about any this week. So, it's Hump Day. We do everything else that we didn't get to touch on Hump Day. This isn't just grappling on Hump Day. All right. We touch on other things too. Okay. Let's first talk about the news with the Ronda Rousey Gina Carano Netflix card. Okay. It's happening 5 rounds, 5 minutes, MMA. It's the main event. Jake Paul still putting on for women combat sports. Ronda Rousey come back after over a decade. Gina Carano even longer. Gina Carano seemingly out of shape before this. We've seen the pics, so she's been working to get down to featherweight. Okay, Ronda Rousey always in shape. I'm not surprised if she was walking around at featherweight right now. You feel me? But anyways, yeah, Ronda's been training all types of ways. She stays fit. Judo background, MMA, wrestling, always staying busy. But Gina on the sidelines for a little bit, since the Mandalorian mishap, trying to get back on that horse. It is what it is. So the biggest thing was the road to getting the fitness on this fight, but it is happening. It is happening, and that's in May, baby. That is in May. I will be tuning in. I don't care if you like it. I don't care if anybody likes it. I like it. I'm going to watch it. I need to stay tapped in. All right. So if you guys don't watch it, don't worry. I'm here. I'm gonna keep you updated. All right. So yeah, I got you. And this fight did happen to fall into Dana White's lap first. She did approach Dana with this fight. That did unfold as she took more interviews with the MacLife and other iterations of media. But she did reach out to Dana about the same bout, but they weren't. I don't know if he didn't want it. I don't know if they couldn't meet terms. I don't know if placement was an issue because that's not main eventing anything in the UFC these days. No offense. That fight's not headlining over any card that I could think of. It's not headlining over Nunez Harrison. I'll tell you that much. It's not headlining over Shevchenko Harrison or Shevchenko Nunez. So, there's a lot of things, I guess, factored into the decision for the UFC to not take that and jump on that opportunity. But I'm not mad at it. We still get to watch it on a giant platform. We still get to enjoy it, for lack of a better term. And we get to see 2 legends come back and make a name for themselves in 2 legends that their final performances didn't leave the ability to leave a good lasting impression on themselves. So shout out to both of them for taking this bout. I'm not mad at it. People are mad at it. They're like, we don't want to see this, blah, blah. I don't care. I want to see it. I want to see it. So I'll be one of those people, already a paying Netflix customer, that will be watching. So yeah, shout out to Ronda Rousey. Shout out to Gina Carano. I hope that, Gina gets back into fighting shape, and so does Rousey, and we see a fantastic women's MMA bout. But, there's obviously a lot of chance for this to be a dud. We've seen where some of our legends come back and we're like, oh, this could be good. Tito. Sorry. And it just doesn't it doesn't turn out the way that we'd like it to. And one side usually ends up being drubbed badly. So we'll see what happens with that. In other good news, Cain Velasquez is finally released after 10 months from being behind bars for the attempted murder case. Shout out to Cain, man. We know the reasons he partook in what went down had good motives behind them. So shout out to Cain. I'm glad he's a free man at this point. It was far too long, far too drawn out. The wrong guy ended up behind bars. It is what it is. It is what it is. Izzy's coming back, baby. But he's discussing his retirement timeline. Izzy says he could see the finish line, and he's saying he's got less than 10 fights. No, that was a no-brainer. Yeah, obviously it's less than 10 fights, Papa. You fight like once a year. What do you fight until 2045? What are we doing? Of course there's less than 10 fights. But what does that mean? Does that mean 3? Does that mean 7? Does that mean 9? It definitely doesn't mean 9. But I'm happy that he's even mentioning trying to be active, coming back, because there was a period that we were just flooded. The waters were chummed with Israel Adesanya. And these days, man, looking for scraps, looking for scraps. So I'd love to see him back and active against solid opponents. I don't care if it's a 205ers, heavyweights, 85ers, shit, drop down to 70s. I don't give a fuck, man. Let's get some Izzy back in here, because when he's involved and when he's in the MMA fight sphere, it's a funner game. Just like when Connor's in, it's a funner game. Just like when, Khabib was here, when John's back in the game, it's a funner game, man. It just is. It just is. There's a lot more to talk about. So shout out to Izzy. I hope his timeline is elongated with lots of hits and stops. Nate Diaz says he wants to come back. He also wants to come back. Another guy, if he comes back, I'm gassed. I'm ready to go. If Nate Diaz has a fight booked, you can bet your ass I'm looking up ways to get to the fight. If it's close enough in the tri-state area, I might be going. You know what I mean? I'm covering it all week. I'm shameless with my Diaz support. I don't care who he's fighting. He could be fighting the Mountain. He could be fighting John Jones. I'm like, yo, Diaz got a shot, bro. You're crazy to think Diaz doesn't have a shot. So I'm Nate Diaz all day. Nick, not so much these days. Nick, it's been a while. That last performance, I mean, I'd love to see you come back and do well. I just have little faith in it. But Nate? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Give me some of that. Anyways, one of his 3 opponents, Dustin Poirier, calls him out on Twitter, and Dustin Poirier responds, belt to ass. Dustin Poirier wants that, but didn't he just break a toe in training? I seen that pinky toe flailing all crazy. I seen it. He thinks he could still take a fight against Nate, and obviously he can. He didn't retire more than a year ago, so yeah, obviously. I'd love to see Dustin back, and that was a fight that was taken from us. We were supposed to see Nate Diaz, Dustin Poirier, and it fell through. It fell through. So I'm not mad at that. Obviously, the Conor fight's on the table. Obviously, there's other fights. I think he said, who was it that he said? Topuria, I think he said. I don't want that, but yeah. Fights that actually got booked. Drew Dober and Michael Johnson are set to slug it out on the UFC 326 card, scheduled for March 7th. T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't care if you don't like this. I don't care if they're old. I don't care. This is a banger. This is a banger. A bangay? However you want to call it. French, Spanish, Italian, Afghani, Egypt, whatever language you want to say it in. It's a banger. Okay? Banger. Drew Dober, when he fights someone of color. Michael Johnson in every fight. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This is what the people came to see. Feature prelims, start the prelims with it. No, I swear to God, if this is on the Fight Pass prelims, I'm going to lose my shit. This better be a featured prelim or right before the featured prelim or opening up the main card or something. I need a spot for this one. I'm going to have popcorn ready. I'm going to crack a brew. I'm going to have that bongi pakti. I'm going to have my chapstick ready. I'm going to be ready to rock. UFC 326, baby. Oh, I can't wait. What is that, 2 weeks? 3 weeks? 3 weeks. It's all good. It's all good. I could wait. That's a banger. Also, Norma Dumont versus Yana Santos have agreed to meet in the octagon. No date, no main event yet, but they're thinking April 25th. Norma Dumont, Yana Santos. I know. People are like, why did you even mention? Relax, all right? Let me do my due diligence. Danny Sabatello books his first Rizin defense. If you don't know, now you know. Rizin Landmark 13, April 11th. Yeah. Rizin Landmark 13. That's right. Guess who else is on the card? James Gallagher is on that card. Another big mouth grappler that we love to see successfully get to it, get after it. Patricky Pitbull, loudish mouth, heavy hands. He's on the card. Yo, Rizin's making a push this year. Signing Patchy Mix got him on the Rizin, 52 card? Something like that. They got Rizin Landmark 13, James Gallagher, Danny Sabatello, Patricky Pitbull. That's in Japan, by the way. Fukuoka, Japan. Okay. It's going to be sick. I might be tapped in. I might be doing a watch along for it. Rizin, April. We might have a date. What else is going on that day? Because if it ain't shit going on, me and you got a date, Rizin. You got a date, baby. Put on the red panty night. Get the nice dress on. Rizin. We going to have a night. All right. Also, what happened over the week? Karate Combat, 59 happened? You may have seen Walter Walker trying to leadlock Zion Clark on social media. He ends up winning by rear naked choke, obviously. That's probably what we all thought would happen. Uriah Hall got a spinning back kick to the body KO with follow-up punches in round 1. Shout out to my boy Uriah Hall. I met him in the streets of New York City one time while I was at the studio. Shout out to Uriah Hall. He was just walking by. I was like, you're Uriah Hall right here on the streets. He's like, yeah, I'm from New York, baby. I was like, oh, shit. Shout out to you, bro. Shout out to Uriah Hall. Also, apparently, Jay Aaron's spinning back kicked him or something. I don't know. Now, Wing C fought on the card. Wing C got a big win against Jadon Torres. TKO, ground strikes. Crazy exchange up in the corner of the pit. Leads to, him getting a far side wrist ride. Pounding him out with some punches. Shout out to Wing C, adding some more clean wins to his combat sports career. Claudio Ribeiro gets a big win over Michael Borges. TKO punches round 1. Lots of round 1 finishes, yo. It was a solid card. Shout out to Karate Combat. Shout out to Dana Brown. Shout out to the whole squad. The Poeton was in attendance. Shit was copacetic. And last but not least, UFC BJJ 5. Mikey Musumeci headlining. He wins. He retains his UFC BJJ Bantamweight Championship. He wins by footlock in round 2. Musumeci at the top of the mountain for the little guys. It's Gordon and Mikey. Jacare! My fucking guy. defeats Tarek Hopstock via unanimous decision, retains the UFC BJJ middleweight championship. Shout out to my boy Jacare. The Gator. Gators bitches better be wearing jimmies. You heard? Okay. And a bunch of other names on this card. You probably don't know them. You might know them. You probably don't. So I'm just gonna skip those for you. But those are the names that popped up on UFC BJJ. So I hope you guys enjoyed, my little spiel about the MMA news on that. Let's bring the chat in, shall we? Who's here? Octopus with friends. Let's go. Gav, what up, bro? How you feeling? Cosmo says, what's good? What up, Cosmo? Lazy Gav. Guess what day it is? It's hump day, baby. It's hump day, lazy. Cosmo says, Octopus says, Cosmo, lazy. And then Cosmo also says, joint. Yo, you guys see the new emojis? You see the new emojis? I've dropped some new emojis in the chat for you. That's right. We got a Nate Diaz smoking a joint now. We added Adelaide Bird to the chat. You know what I mean? Father's Plan still in there. What else? I added Dakota. What else did I add? I added a couple little tidbits for you guys. Lazy says, it's hump day. Let's go. Lazy says, sub fellas, not racially motivated dober. Bangers are haram, says Octopus of Friends. And then 1117, rip that vape. I'm at work. Oh, man. Enjoy that work day, baby. And also, guys, newly, if you don't know, we're on audio now. Spotify, Apple Music, all that. One More Round Fights, the live chat, Matchmaker Monday, TKO Tuesday, Hump Day. All of it's there. I mean, we don't have the first 50 episodes because that hard drive is fried, as you guys know. I got to get that hard drive fixed, and then I'll put up the rest of the 50 episodes for people that want to go back and listen from the early stages of the show. But, yeah, go check. Spotify, type in One More Round Fights, type in Gaff Pierre, type in whatever you want. You're going to find it. So you can now hear audio. So if you're at work and you can't, the YouTube keeps stopping in your pocket, later on in the day after this podcast is over, I'm gonna put that up there for you, and you could just listen. You just listen. I got you. So don't forget to listen on Spotify, Apple Music, all that. I forgot to make the lower. I was gonna make the lower and I forgot. But anyways. And last but not least, Lazy says the name to watch on the Rising card is Kate Lotus. I won't forget that. You said Kate to start. I won't forget. Kate Lotus. Got that. Great name. Solid name. But guys, it's hump day. And what do we do on hump day? We talk about the most dominant grapplers in MMA. Okay? That's what we do. And since it's 2026 and 2025 is dead and over with, we got a whole new slew of champions. We're going to talk about the best ones this year. And we've got 2 months of work, well, a month and a half. But we got a lot of grapplers to talk about. Don't worry. You ain't got to do no work. You sit back and relax. I got you. I'm going to talk about the top 5 grapplers for you. And unlike yesterday where I showed the highlights first, we're going to go through the list first. So here we go. Chad, I'm going to have to move you to the side there. These are the top 5 grapplers this year and their performances in 2026. At number 1, Mario Bautista defeats Vinicius Oliveira via submission, rear naked choke, round 2, 4 minutes and 46 seconds. We'll go over how and why. Usman Nurmagomedov defeats Alfie Davis via technical submission in the number 2 spot, arm triangle choke, round 3, 4 minutes and 41 seconds. At the 3 spot, Justin Gaethje defeats Paddy Pimblett via unanimous decision. In the 4 spot, Benoit Saint-Denis defeats Dan Hooker via TKO, round 2, 4 minutes and 45 seconds. And at the 5 spot, which will probably get bumped real soon, Gene Silva defeats Arnold Allen via unanimous decision. Unforgettable. The man surfed his back in the fight. It had to be on the list. it had to be on the list. Okay, so let's first go over the best grapplers of the year. At the 1 spot, yeah, I have Mario Bautista. Check this out. Round 2, 4 minutes and 46 seconds. He went 5 for 7 on his takedowns in that bout. 5 for 7 It was 1.5 rounds. And he went 5 for, all right, it was almost 2 rounds. He went 5 for 7, bro. And he was beating the brakes off of him on the feet. So, I mean, yeah, Mario Bautista had to take down that one spot in the main event, proving that he deserves to be in that upper echelon of the UFC's bantamweight division. I had to let Mario get that one spot. And some would disagree with me giving him the 2 spots. Some would put him a little lower on the list and maybe put BSD up on. But I got to give it to Justin Gaethje, bro. Sorry, Usman Nurmagomedov. I have to give it to Usman Nurmagomedov, bro. The number 2 spot for Usman. I mean, he was beating Alfie Davis on the feet. Alfie Davis was running out of options. He had to start throwing crazy shit. All right. He had to start throwing crazy shit. But he eventually got the arm triangle choke. You know, he eventually got it. It's not the worst thing. All right. Before let's look at him so you can gauge it for yourself. This was the Mario Bautista. Okay. Gets a beautiful sub on Vinicius Oliveira. All right. That one is gorgeous. It was nice. Snuck it in real quick. There was no dispute. There was no, maybe he wasn't ready. No, he tapped real quick on that. There was no mistaking that. There was no, maybe he had a chance to do it. No. And this is Usman. Look, I feel like this is like one of those doon 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 doon. Like it was just he was in danger the entire time. There was no point where he wasn't in danger, and then he just went to sleep out of nowhere. It was over. Usman deserves that 2 spot. Look how dominant he looks right here, and flattens him out for no reason after he's already just cooked. He's already cooked. He's flattening him out. Cool, man. That had to be the number 2 spot. If you didn't want that in the number 2 spot, you're just mean and evil. You're just mean and evil if you didn't want that. All right? Come on. And number 3 maybe should have been BSD, but I got to give it to Justin Gaethje, bro. I got to give it to Justin Gaethje. I'm not going to show it because if we show UFC numbered events, we get videos taken down. That's just how the game goes over here. So we're not going to do that. But it should be noted that Justin Gaethje on a 48-47, but it should have been 49-46 across the board, which the last 2 judges gave him, went 3 for 3 on his takedowns. Now, they didn't really look like takedowns. They were frontside headlocks, but he was able to bring his opponent to the ground with them to multiple points and keep him there. Those were takedowns. I mean, it doesn't matter if he lands on his back or his front. If he's on the mat, it's a takedown. You know what I mean? So, yeah, Justin Gaethje deserved to get my number 3 spot. Obviously, we can't show any highlights of that. And we can't show any highlights of the number 4 because it was on UFC 325, which is Benoit Saint-Denis. All right, Benoit Saint-Denis with his big win over Dan Hooker, TKO punches, round 2, 4 minutes, 45 seconds. He went 2 for 9 on his takedowns. 2 for 9. Yeah, Usman 3 for 4. You're seeing a little correlation between the takedowns and the combination of the submission here. That's why they're so high on the list. That's why Mario Bautista with 5 fucking takedowns in a 2-round fight and getting the submission victory is number 1. Why Usman with 3 of his 4 takedowns in a 3-round fight and a submission victory gets the number 2 spot. Yeah, BSD got a TKO. All right, I still give him number 4 because guess what? Justin Gaethje got a fucking belt with his performance using grappling in an unexpected way. He got my number 3 spot. Okay, and then came BSD at number 4, and then Gene Silva, just because we haven't had too many performances just yet at number 5. So again, this list, yours could be a little different, but I have a feeling a lot of the same people are appearing on your list as well. So shout out to Mario Bautista, Usman, Justin Gaethje, Benoit Saint-Denis, and Gene Silva. They all had fantastic grappling performances worthy of being the top 5 grapplers of this 2026 so far. And you don't have to be a grappler to be on this list. You just have to have a fantastic grappling performance, a dominant grappling performance. Okay. And we have a guy that could definitely put up a dominant grappling performance this week. Okay. Guess what? Guess what, mofos? We got UFC Fight Night Strickland versus Hernandez this week. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah, that's what we got. We got that this week. That's going to be fun as hell. And we're going to go ahead and look at the card as a whole. Okay, that's what we're going to do here. We're going to look at the card, but I'm just going to go to the fights that I'm pretty sure or have an idea will end in a submission victory. All right? So without further ado, let's start from the top, shall we? Let's not lollygag about. Okay, it doesn't make sense to do so. We're gonna start with Strickland versus Hernandez. We're gonna get it out the way. Okay. Now let's bring in the chart. No, I'm just kidding. We're not showing the chart just yet. Here it is. Strickland versus Hernandez. Oh shit, why is it not showing up on the screen? Oh, I didn't add it to the stage. That's why. Here we go. I mean, look at these gentlemen. Look at these gentlemen here. 29-7, 15-2. All right, cool. Similar size, similar reach, similar, virtually identical. All right. Go ahead and look at that. Look at that submission right there. Do you see it? 60 fucking percent. 60 fucking percent. Now, you're thinking, okay, that's one side, Gav. That's one side. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Uh-huh. Watch this. No submission losses. That's the only reason I'm apprehensive to take a fluffy submission. But I don't know if you guys heard all week. Fluffy's been saying he wants to punish Sean Strickland. He wants to punish him. He's heard this shit he said on social media. He's heard all that stuff and he doesn't like it. So that leads me to believe a TKO, right? Now I'm thinking Fluffy over Elslam. Sean ain't going to give up in a fight. Fluffy's not going to one-punch knockout him. He's not going to overwhelm somebody like Sean Strickland who's just going to keep fighting. All right? So what's really going to happen? Fluffy's eventually going to try to sub him. Now, I don't know if he pulls it off, but he's going to try to sub him. Let's look at his grappling stats. 6 takedown average. Okay? 2 submission average, because when he attempts those submissions, he's trying to end the fight. That's why it's not that high. He's not one of those guys that's going to, spam armbar, transition to a triangle, transition out of the triangle to side control, try to get a guillotine from there. He's not gonna do all that. He's gonna look for the rear naked and yank it up. He's gonna beat you up until you leave your neck out there and yank it up. That's how he's gonna do it. Problem is Sean's takedown defense is pretty high. Doesn't matter with 6 takedown average. You're gonna eventually get one. One of those is gonna go down. That's literally the percent. One of that 6 is that fucking 24% that's missing from Sean Strickland's takedown defense. Okay, so he's gonna get one, and he's gonna beat Sean Strickland up for at least a little bit. But the problem is, he said he wants to punish him. So that submission attempt, I don't know when it comes. Does it come in round 5? Does it come? Because he may want to try to finish him. He doesn't probably want to go to a decision. He probably wants to try to finish a guy like Sean Strickland. Again, finishing Sean Strickland, something that DDP wasn't able to do, would really throw his name into title contention. So submission is possible, but I'm not going to be rolling with it exclusively. If I do roll with that, it's going to be, round robin-esque. It's going to be a single. I don't know if I could roll with a fluffy subber. I just can't, in all likelihood, do it. I'm sorry. I love you too, but I can't do it. All right? I can't. And same type of deal with the next fight. Ante Delija and Sergey Spivak. I can't comfortably roll with it. A sub for Sergey Spivak. I know he has a high takedown average. All right, look, the submission average is doggy do though. Look at that, 0.54. Can't do it. Can't do it. Takedown offense is not really there because he doesn't have a lot of fights to take account of in the UFC. So that's why the stats there, none showing. Significant strikes though, because his fights took place on the feet. One not going his way, one having gone his way. But yeah, I just can't trust Sergey Spivak, so I'm staying away from any Spivak sub props too. All right. One fight that does have a possibility is Josiah Harrell and Jacoby Smith. There's a possibility of a sub here because Josiah Harrell will grapple. I don't know if they have his grappling stats. They don't, but he's going to take down. Jacoby, obviously high takedown average. He showed that off in his last fight with almost one submission average per fight. So it's possible for Jacoby. I'm actually seeing club and sub possibility here, where it's like, oh, this is going to be TKO. And then the next out there, he may, this guy took this fight on short notice. He may not want to, beat the fuck out of him like we know Jacoby could. So he's probably going to yank a sub up at some point. He's probably going to yank up a sub. I'm not sure if I can roll with that though. Jacoby finish is probably how I'm feeling. It's probably how I'm feeling, if we're being honest. Same type of deal that I'm talking about in this next fight. Same the wolf, birds of a feather. Michelle Pereira and Zach Reese. We've seen time and time again Michelle Pereira beating somebody up literally a punch and a half or a step from the referee away from getting a TKO, and him electing to add a stat right here to the sub percentage. All right. We've seen this time and time again. He's Mr. Club and Sub, we should call him. Whatever his fucking nickname is, it should be Mr. Club and Sub. All right. Because that's what Michelle Pereira does in the UFC. He knocks someone out, and instead of just getting his TKO victory, he yanks that neck up, or he grabs, he does something to get the sub. So he's another guy that's a high sub ability, very high sub ability. That 0.72 is all he needs because it's usually the one that'll end the fight. And also, Zach Reese has high sub ability. You don't expect Zach Reese to TKO a guy like Michelle, but I could see Zach Reese overwhelming him, being too big for him and yanking a rear naked. This fight has sub ability. This fight has high sub ability. So I would keep an eye on that fight, but that's not the fights that are going in my parlay. Those are not the fights that we're talking about, people. Leal also has options to get a sub in this fight, possibility there. None of these. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Punahele Soriano and Ramiz Brahimaj. 13-5, 12-4. Virtually identical. 72, 72, 5'10, 5'11. It is what it is, right? Go ahead and feast your fucking eyes. Feast your eyes. That's right. 92% by sub. He tries to sub you to win the fight. Punahele trying to knock you out, obviously. Not a lot of subs there. And it's crazy, right? Because if you look at the grappling stats, 2 submission averages per fight, but the takedown defense isn't there. That's what limits him right there, that takedown defense. Takedown accuracy. I was circling the wrong thing. Takedown accuracy is what limits him. But he's still getting takedowns. 1.7. He's still getting them. Now, Punahele, we gotta take a look at Punahele before we start jumping to conclusions, right? Let's take a look at my guy. How many of his losses were by sub? Oh, he has a sub loss. Who was it to? Oh, it was Dustin Stoltzfus. Huh, rear naked. Rear naked, you don't say. Rear naked, you say. Rear naked, you say. Okay. Oh, look at that. Michael Gilmore, rear naked. Oh, look at that. Sasha Palatnikov, rear naked. Oh, look at that. Bilal Williams, rear naked. Oh, look at that. Andrew Sosa, rear naked. Oh, that. Richard Bailey, rear naked. Crazy. You don't say. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and throw him in my sub parlay. Yeah, we're round robin in that motherfucker, but it's happening. Ramiz Brahimaj by sub has to go in, bro. It just has to. New York, stand the fuck up. It has to. Ramiz Brahimaj by sub. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. Some people like this fight. They think Les Boyani has a chance against Phil Rowe. I think Phil Rowe's about to beat the brakes off this man. But it is what it is. Les Boyani's probably going to have to grapple and get a submission victory. We've seen that be the kryptonite of Phil Rowe. Not looking at that fight for my parlay ski, though. I'm looking at this one right here, baby. Jordan Leavitt, Yadier Del Valle. 12-3, 10-0. Early on the card. Cuba, United States. Okay. Look at that win percentage. Oh, look at that. It's the highest for both of them. Huh. Look at that. Sub for Leavitt, sub for Del Valle. This may take some time on the ground. Look at this. 2 takedowns each. Takedown accuracy isn't the greatest, but somebody's takedown defense is a lot better. You give me go ahead and order me up one of them Yadier Del Valle subs, please. Yeah. No, yeah. Extra ham. Extra pickles, extra mustard, all that. Give me the Cuban. Give me the Cuban sub. Thank you. Appreciate you. Yeah, I'll take that to go. That's what we're fucking with. We're fucking with Ramiz Brahimaj. We're fucking with Yadier Del Valle. That's what's happening. I went through it with you guys. We looked at the stats. It is what it is. You know what I mean? That's what we're doing. If you don't like it, don't take it. All right. But that's what I'm feeling. Let's see what the chat's feeling on this. Would be wild if he fought Hawes, Phil Rowe. Jean Paul versus Les Boyani versus Phil Hawes is one to watch for sub. Yeah. Some people think Les Boyani sub. Some people could also think Phil Rowe sub. But I'm feeling a Rowe TKO. Les Boyani, Le Bosniani has lost twice by TKO. Phil Rowe, 80-inch reach, 8-inch reach advantage. I got to go with my boy. I got to rock with him. Yes, a Thursday card. All Phils look alike. That's unfair. I used to confuse Phil Collins and Uncle Phil from Fresh Prince all the time. You understood it with the Saudi Amato emoji. I see you, Cosmo. And then Lazy says, Josiah Harrell taking perhaps the toughest path to UFC imaginable. Was slated to make Dana White's Contender Series debut versus JDM. Diagnosed with brain disease. Comes back. 4 wins in a row. Gets short notice versus Jacoby. I know. Tough. So somebody upstairs don't like my guy. That's tough, man. That's tough as hell. But all right. So you know where my head's at after looking through the card with the most sub abilities of all those fights. Let's craft, baby. Let's craft our subber parlay of the week. Oh yeah. Now, quickly before we get into it, we're gonna look at our 2 guys, right? We're gonna look at Ramiz Brahimaj. I'm gonna go take a look at his stats, and then we're gonna go take a look at Yadier Del Valle. Okay. And Jordan Leavitt. All right. It makes sense to go look at Jordan Leavitt too. You'll see why. Bring in the chart. All right. Ramiz Brahimaj, however you want to say it. Teach his own. Adesanya, Adesanya. Nobody gives a fuck really, huh? All right. Look at that. His last fight by submission over Austin Vanderford. Didn't get the takedown, didn't need it. Got 2 submission attempts. So obviously we're not looking at him for takedowns, or are we? Look at him in the Billy Ray Goff fight. Another submission victory. Not many takedowns. Oh, sorry. 2 of 3 on his takedowns. Only needed that 1 submission attempt to get it done. Efficient in that one. Let's go to 2024. Demba Garimbo. 1 for 8 on his takedowns. He was trying to get it there, unsuccessful. Didn't get any submission attempts off. Can't really get submission attempts off when somebody else is 5 for 6 on takedowns and dominating the fight with 110 strikes to your 15. So it is what it is, you know. The Mickey Gall fight doesn't really have to use his submission because he gets the first TKO of his career, gets the knockdown, completely takes place on the feet, no takedowns or submission attempts. Okay, that was an anomaly, to say the least. Doesn't fight in 2023, gets his fight canceled against Carlston Harris. Let's look at the Court McGee fight. Similar performance that Themba Gorimbo pulled off. Beat him with 5 takedowns, overwhelmed him with the strikes, even knocked him down at one point. He did try to get that takedown. He did try to submit him, but Court McGee's a vet. Didn't get it. Okay. And last but not least, the Michael Gilmore rear naked choke. Round 1, needed the 1 takedown, threw in multiple submission attempts, finally got it. All right. So getting takedowns, not at the highest clip, but getting them. And usually 1 or 2 submissions is what he needs to get it done. All right. I like him. I like him for a sub. I do. He's taking on Soriano. Soriano, the way he's been beaten, if you look over his career, Feretnikov, striker, beats him. Medic, striker, beats him. Miguel Baeza, striker, beats him. Dustin Stolfus mixes it up. German, got some wrestling. He loses to him. Roman Kopylov, Russian, good on the feet, but has some wrestling to him offensively, not defensively, offensively. Roman Kopylov beats him. Dalcho Lugumibula, obviously a striker. Guess what? Beats him. Nick Maximov trains with the Diazes. Grappler, wrestler, jiu-jitsu, loses to him. Brendan Allen, grappler, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, loses to him. I mean, you guys see the pattern, right? He faces a striker, goes well. Faces a grappler, has some issue. That's why I'm backing the Ramiz Brahimaj submission victory, and that's why he's in as one leg of my parlay of the week. Now, the leg that scares me the most is obviously Yadier Del Valle, which was my other leg that we spoke of. But let's first look at Jordan Leavitt before we look at Yadier Del Valle. Okay? Let's look at Jordan. Quick. Just quick. Oh, both times that he lost, it was by submission? Huh. Okay. Who beat him? Kurt Hollabaugh mixes it up. Well, likes to strike first, can get to the grappling. Solid on the ground, though, but he beats him. Okay. Somebody that mixes it up well. Okay. Not crazy on the feet. Chase Hooper, grappler, loses to him. Submission, rear naked choke. All right. Victor Martinez. I don't know much about Victor Martinez, but I'm assuming that this played a lot on the feet because it was a 2.5-minute fight and he won by TKOs, elbows, and knees. Paddy Pimblett, grappler, loses, rear naked choke, round 2, London, England. Now, Trey Ogden is a grappler. We've seen Trey Ogden have some solid performances, but look at this. Split decision, almost lost this fight. One judge eats an orange instead of an apple. We might have it the other way. You feel me? All right. Claudio loses to Claudio. Look at Claudio. Go ahead and look at Claudio. Feast your fucking eyes, please. 7 submission wins and 12 wins. So we've seen when he faces somebody that's good at grappling, he ends up losing, and more often than not, by submission. Okay? Do I need to present any more evidence for this parlay for you guys, or you think this was satisfactory? All right? Is that satisfactory? Let's go look at Yadier. Let's go look. Sub. Oh, over Delgarian. Sub. Over Matthews. Sub. Over Smith. Round one. Huh. Round 1, you say. Let's go look at Jordan Leavitt. Let's just take a gander. Let's take a gander at our boy Jordan Leavitt. Huh. Round 1. Okay, Patty was round 2. Willis, you lost by decision. Okay. But are you seeing the pattern? I think I've done enough. I think my work speaks for itself. We're going with the Yadier Del Valle sub. We're going with the Ramiz Brahimaj sub. And if you don't trust Ramiz Brahimaj, if you're on the Punahele Soriano train, because I know a lot of people ain't on that leave it train now. I know a lot of people ain't on that leave it train now. But if you're still on that Soriano train and you're like, yo, Soriano might get this win, it's probably a decision, blah, blah, blah. Well, then let's look at our main event, shall we? Let's just look at it. We have to. We owe it to ourselves. It's Anthony fucking Hernandez, man. All right? We owe it to ourselves. We do. Let's take a look at the stats. Let's see what they present. Anthony Hernandez. Let's rock with our boy. Let's hit that wiki up real quickie. Okay. Let's go down here. Oh, look at that. 9 wins by sub. More than his other methods combined. That's crazy. But when he loses, he gets finished. Strickland, not known to finish. So we're not worried about that. we're not so much worried about that. Okay? But look at this. Romando leads a rear naked choke. Brendan Allen, unanimous decision. Who's a fantastic, accomplished grappler himself. You know? Obviously, Michelle Pereira got TKO'd. It is what it is. Roman Kopylov, grappler. Rear naked choke. You don't say. You don't say. He has some hands too, yes. Shabazian, obviously a striker. He got TKO though. Marc-Andre Barrios, we've seen him use that power bar to grapple some people down. And he got arm triangle choked. Look at that. Look at that's a lot of subs right there. Adolfo Vieira. You may know him from the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world scene. Yeah, he got submitted by Fluffy Hernandez. Crazy. Park Jung-young, anaconda choke. You know? I mean, I know Strickland has not been submitted. I know. But we've seen guys that haven't been finished a certain way get finished before. This is MMA. Anything can happen. I'm looking at it. It's not officially going in as a third leg. Maybe round robin season. Because you can't round robin, Del Valle and Brahimaj. But I mean, the only 2 losses in a row. Pereira KO, Jared Cannonier. We've seen him lose 2 in a row. He's coming off the loss to DDP. Year-long layoff. February 9th, 2025 was his last fight. Might be a little rusty in there. Might leave some openings in there. Fluffy subber dubber. I don't know. But let's take a look at what the odds would be. Did they even drop it yet? Sometimes they don't drop it for the prelims. So we might just be looking at Fluffy sub odds right now. We'll see. Okay. Fluffy by submission plus 275. Not the worst. I mean, it's better than his odds on decision, which is plus 125. Jeez Louise. Plus 125. Ew. It's a lot of stress for not a lot of reward. Plus 275 isn't bad for a Fluffy subber dubber. Something in Dan Ige, Costa. No. Dan Ige's never been finished. And at least Strickland's been finished. Dan Ige's just never been finished, period. So I'm not choosing that. I'm not choosing Costa sub, in which a guy I've seen decision so many people. So he's probably going to get a sub. But, I'm just not going to choose it. I'm just not. If you're wondering about the Michelle Pereira sub, that's plus 600. Okay. If you were wondering about the Michelle Pereira sub, that's plus 600. Tell me they got Brahimaj sub out. Oh, they do. Damn it. Plus 150 on the Brahimaj sub. Damn it. And Del Valle sub is not out yet. All right. Right now, if you have Hernandez and Brahimaj, it's plus 837. If you have those, I don't know what the odds will be on Del Valle sub when those eventually drop, but yeah, that's what you're working with right now for sub or parlay of the week. And if you want to actually take it, don't worry. I will put it out on social. I will be dropping that either late Friday night, early Saturday morning, one of the two. That's how you will get your summer parlay, and that's the summer parlay of the week. All right. Last but not least, we got to go with our dubber parlay of the week. Okay. Our dubber parlay of the week. And we just looked at this guy. So we're going to, I hate myself, but we're going to do this again. We're going to do this again. We have to do it. All right. We're going to do the takedown pop. I know. He fucked us last time. The guy that was the biggest favorite, it was Jalton Almeida, and we would have cashed because Horiguchi got it and Bautista got it. But of course, Jalton doesn't get the takedown, so we don't cash on our takedown parlay. It is what it is. But Anthony Hernandez should get us right, y'all. His single takedown is probably going to be astronomical. Let's be honest. Let me see on DraftKings what it is. It's probably going to be like minus 14 million. I would not be surprised. Woo, my Lord. His line is set at 6.5 right now. That's crazy, bro. And that line is still minus 150. It's minus 150 under, but shit. FanDuel usually has a single. So let me go ahead and look over there real quickly. Oh, no. I'm like nervous. I know the odds on this are going to be so god awfully bad that it's actually going to hurt my soul to even throw it in as a leg. But it's going to be the easiest leg of the night. He's going to get one. He's going to get one. All right. They don't have the takedown prop out yet. And that's the main event. So they don't have it out yet. But you can imagine it's going to be pretty heavy of a toll. Okay. But just look back at his fights just to support our theory here. 9 for 11 against Dolidze. All right. Against Pereira, 10 for 29. That's right. You heard that. 10 for 29. Against Shabazian, 6 for 15. Against Barrio, 8 for 14. Against Josh Fremd, 8 for 11. I don't think I need to go back to 2021 at this point, but, we're doing it. None on Vieira. He wanted to keep that on the feet. And Kevin Holland, he never got there. That was around 1 KO in 39 seconds. But Park Jung-young, 6 for 9. So you see takedowns heavily into his game. He's going to definitely be in our takedowns parlay as one leg. On DraftKings, we're probably not going to get to take it. It's probably going to be a FanDuel play again. But fluffy takedown, possibly 2 takedowns, whatever they have it at, is going to make it into our parlay. Shout out to Fluffy. Now, the other takedown that I'm liking is Ramiz Brahimaj, obviously, since I'm favoring his submission, right? You got to get it to the ground somehow. He's not yanking up a sub out of nowhere, right? Let's take a look at his takedowns again. Against Austin Vanderford, he didn't get one, but he got the submission. He attempted one at least. 2 for 3 on Billy Ray Goff. Didn't need one on Mickey Gall. Got the TKO. 1 for 8 on Themba Gorimbo, who's an accomplished wrestler. Not accomplished, but he's a solid wrestler himself. Michael Gilmore, 1 for 1. That's all he needed. Court McGee, I think he got one on. Yeah, 1 for 3. So he usually gets a takedown. So I'm looking at Ramiz Brahimaj as my second leg of the takedown prop. And the third leg, maybe there'll be a fourth leg, but the third leg I'm liking is Makizio Costa. We're liking Costa decision, right? Let's look at Costa. Damn. You'd think it'd be easy to Google this motherfucker with a name like that. It's apparently not. I had to really look for this shit. All right. There we go. Costa. Okay. Now we have to go to your fucking ESPN stats. Well, I'd rather your UFC stats. It's actually much cleaner. Shout out to the UFC stats page. But look at this. This column right here is takedown column, right? He doesn't get one against Charrier, right? But doesn't really need one. He gets 2 on Julian Erosa. He gets 1 on Christian Rodriguez. Doesn't get one on Feely, but he gets 2 on Nurdanbeke. He gets 2 in a loss to Steve Garcia. He gets 3 beating Austin Lingo. Obviously, Thiago Moises, he didn't really want to take it there. Thiago Moises is really good on the ground. But you see the point there. I like Costa to get a takedown. I'm liking Costa, bro. So that would be my 3-leg. And if you're looking for a 4th leg, maybe Coria. If you're looking for a 4th leg to spice it up, but I'm not. Oh, shit. I forgot to put up the lower. Well, I did this. Anyways, that's the double parlay of the week. All right. That'll be the double parlay of the week. The takedowns will be Anthony Hernandez, Makizio Costa, Ramiz Brahimaj. Those 3 legs parlayed for a takedown. Hopefully we can get to plus money on that. We're really heavily relying on Ramiz and Costa in this one. Ramiz should get us the value to get there. Hopefully he's even, minus 115 on a takedown. And then Costa should add, he'll probably be like minus 200, add a little value. And then Hernandez to round it out. Hopefully we can get like a plus 150 out of it. We probably won't. It'll probably be like a minus 102 like last time on some bullshit. But it is what it is. That will be the stubber parlay of the week, our takedowns prop parlay of the week. I don't see a lot of KOs on the card. I do see a lot of submission opportunities. I can see a lot of decisions. So I don't want to do, a mixed double parlay with takedowns, subs, or subs and KOs or whatever it is. I decided to keep it at takedowns because I feel pretty confident in those 3 guys to be able to get a takedown on this card. Let's just hope the value is enough. If the value isn't enough, I may switch to a combination of items, whether it's takedowns and sub and a TKO or just a finish parlay, something like that, so we can get both subbers and TKOs involved. We may do something like that. And if you're wondering who I'm going to be including on a sub or double parlay of, finish or not finish, it doesn't matter. Sub or TKO, it doesn't matter how they get it done. I'd probably include maybe fights to not go the distance as a prop, like the Medic-Neal fight, something like that. Because I don't know who finishes who in that fight. I think it'll be Neal, but Medic could rise to the occasion. Okay, the Jacoby Smith-Josiah Harrell fight, I would do Jacoby Smith by finish as a leg for sure. I would probably go Michelle Pereira by finish because club sub ability, but I would probably, that fight scares me. Zachary's, he could be here. He could be here. Could be his time right now. And maybe the Phil Rowe and Les Boyani fight, something like a fight does not go the distance type deal with that. But yeah. Del Valle could get TKO or sub too. Don't get it twisted. Del Valle could TKO or sub, leave it too. But yeah, that would probably be if the takedown double parlay doesn't work out value wise, that's probably the route I will end up going. So just keep a lookout for the double parlay. That will be coming either late Friday, early Saturday. All right. That's kind of it for this show. That's it. Appreciate everybody that pulled up to the chat, showing love all day. Yeah, sub over Delgarian isn't satisfying enough for me to believe he is good. That's fair on Del Valle, but keep in mind, leave it. All you got to do is just remind yourself of leave it and how he fights in his fights, and then you'll be like, oh, all right. Yeah, I could see this being a finish for Del Valle. That's all you got to do. No offense to leave it. He just loves to leave openings. Mommy's in this house. He says, Gav, my dude, what is happening? Ain't nothing. Ain't shit. Just on another hump day, getting to it. Doing some updates, some news, giving you guys sub parlays, takedown parlays, finish parlays. It is what it is. Meat rocket in this motherfucker. He says, I'm here. Octopus, don't worry. I'm here. Hey, but appreciate all. Hope you guys enjoyed the show for the last hour. I just been, getting to it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Again, come by Friday, CP units. We'll be simulating Hernandez and Strickland. We only got a one fight for that card, but it is what it is. And then we'll be going into the chart. So we won't be having a locker room this week since we could just go over the chart with a lot of the time that we'll have left over on CP units. So I'll see you on CP units for Friday. Don't forget to tune into Matchmaker Monday, Clubber, Subber, Dubber, all that, TKO Tuesdays, Hump Day, live chats on Sundays, watch alongs on the main card minute on Saturdays, CP units Fridays. Yo, we chum the waters of the week for you. All right. The least you can do is provide a sub. All right. The least you can do. out here. All right. So we're trying to get to 800. Please scan the QR code. Subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get bigger. We're trying to grow this thing, or else it'll die. So yeah. Please subscribe to the channel. Also, follow on socials. One more round. Fights everywhere except for X. Fuck you, Elon. One more round. F8 on X. That's where we live tweet the fights. So please, if you could be so kind, subscribe to the channel, follow on socials, do all that. All right. Be nice. Be nice to your loved ones. Be good to your people. If you got any wins to send to the channel, send your love, your appreciation for the money you made on some picks from this here channel. That's right. Send them into one more round fights at gmail.com. I want to show you off like one of my French whores. Okay. But anyways, I'm out of here. Feel free to sponsor the channel if you ain't a bitch. If you are, it is what it is. You know, if you're subscribed to the channel, I know your life is better because of it. I just know it is. I just know it is. There ain't no way I'm giving out all these fucking picks every week and nobody's life is better. There's no motherfucking way. All right. So enjoy the rest of your week. Hope you guys enjoy the show. Hump day. We're here to stay. I know TKO Tuesdays got taken down. UFC numbered events hate when you post to social media. So we gotta work around that. We'll figure it out. Growing pains with the new show. But again, if you still want to pay attention to it, it's on audio platforms. So Spotify, Apple Music, all that. Type in TKO Tuesday, Hump Day, Gaff Pierre, one more round fights, whatever you got to do to get there, you'll find it. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Enjoy your fucking Thirsty Thursday. I know I will. I'll see you guys back Friday for CP units. Enjoyed the time I had with every single one of you. Meat Rocket, Mommy, Cosmo, Lazy Bed, Octopus, you know, and everybody else that's going to check this out afterwards. Everybody else lurking in the shadows, appreciate you too. Hope you're subscribed. Like the video on your way out. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm out. Deuces.